Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2024 Texas High School Lacrosse League State Championships. You are looking live at Mustang Stadium on the campus of Magnolia West High School in Magnolia, Texas, as Game On Sports Network brings you exclusive coverage of today's Texas High School Lacrosse League Class B State Semifinal between the Lucas Lovejoy Leopards and the Highland Park B Scots. Alongside Tom McGee, this is Brian Shackelford welcoming you to today's Class B State Semifinal here at Mustang Stadium. And Tom, following a journey that began 4 months ago with practices in freezing weather, 3 months of Texas High School Class B lacrosse, and now 2 rounds of playoffs, the Final Four are here this afternoon at Magnolia West High School, ready to battle for spots in tomorrow afternoon's Class B State Championship game.
Yes, Brian, they've battled long and hard to get to this juncture, and there's a lot of rich history between these two teams, especially on Highland Park side. So we're looking for a great contest this afternoon, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Indeed, and Highland Park comes into this contest as the number 1 overall seed in Class B, having defeated the number 8 San Antonio Alamo Heights team 8-4 in the quarterfinals last week, as we're set to get the action underway, as the B Squad Scots here in Class B will control to start the game. The opening faceoff picked up by number 24 Ford Blevins, and we're underway in this Class B State Semifinal at Mustang Stadium. So Highland Park this afternoon in the all-white, the white jerseys with the dark blue numerals and white pants. The Lovejoy Leopards in their classic black tops with red numerals, and the white shorts here this afternoon in this Class B State Semifinal. And Tom, once again, just like we had in our first game of the day in the Class A State Semifinal, these are two teams who know each other very, very well as Class B North District opponents.
Yes, they do, and there's no love lost between these two teams. We ought to see a good physical match today, and I think whoever wins the ground balls is going to win this game today. Very
much like Leander Vandergrift did in the first game. They controlled the ground balls, and there's a shot from distance, and the opening goal for the Scots, number 19, Connor McCutcheon, and the number 1 seed in Class B out to an early 1-0 lead.
They patiently moved the ball around and finally got a good shot on goal, and it goes in.
1-0.
So McCutcheon making the score. Highland Park 1, Lucas Lovejoy 0. And we don't even have a minute gone here in the first quarter at Mustang Stadium. A whistle on the faceoff, and possession will be granted to the Lovejoy Leopards. So number 19, Connor McCutcheon, coming up big for the Highland Park Scots, as this is their second of 2 varsity teams. They have so many kids come out at Highland Park for lacrosse, Tom, that they have 2 top flight teams, so they put together a Class A team, which will compete, or is competing right now, over at Magnolia High School in one of the Class AA state semifinals, and then the second squad of varsity players here in Class B also fighting for a chance to play in a state championship tomorrow.
It's just good old-fashioned high school lacrosse. A number of these players have college aspirations to go on and keep on playing this beautiful game, and it'll be interesting to see this matchup, how it turns out.
So Lucas Lovejoy in control, 35 on the shot clock, as we have 2 minutes gone here in the opening quarter at Magnolia West High School. Charging in, goal line extended on the far side, number 35, Joseph Mills. Mills dumping off in X. Coming out of X to the near side, goal line extended, that's 21, Jacob Kirchhoffer. Working up top.
I'm liking how the patience of the Lovejoy team.
A shot there by Kevin McGee, and the save by the goalkeeper, number 3, Walter Fitzgerald, for the Scots. And now quickly Highland Park on the attack, already up 1-0. A bad pass there, scooped up by the long stick midi for the Leopards, number 43, Nathan White. And White will move the ball forward for Lucas Lovejoy. So Lovejoy looking for their first goal of the match is all the way into X. The long stick midi, number 1, Brody Cooper. And he'll dish off as double teamed on the far sideline. The Leopards lose the ball, get it right back. And with 57 on the shot clock, Lucas Lovejoy finally will set up the offense on the near side with Jacob Kirchhoffer and number 35, Joseph Mills.
Lovejoy taking their time, good patience, good passes. start up at the top as they normally do.
And charging down the far side, Kevin McGee wearing number 15, and that pass into X out of bounds, an unforced error by the Leopards will give possession back to the Highland Park Scots. And the Scots will move forward with the clock at 8:45 to play in our first quarter. Highland Park leading in this state semifinal 1-0. Their third offensive possession of the game, down to 65 on the shot clock for the Scots, as controlling near side goal line extended number 6, Woods Harbison. In X for the Scots, number 10, James Allen. And the Scots will set the counterclockwise rotation, the shot clock down to 52, as coming in late for the offensive set, number 15, Dean Doolin. Once again in X, number 10, Allen. And Highland Park looking for the right shot here. They'll cycle on the far side. The ride by the long stick midi there, pushing number 19, Connor McCutcheon, back near midfield. Shot clock down to 30. As once again, Allen will now come out of X, looking for McCutcheon. And Allen picks up the ground ball, a win, gives it over to number 1, Connor Highland. A shot there on the far side by Woods Harbison, deflected away by the Leopards goalkeeper. And with 15 on the shot clock, it will be number 15, Dean Doolin, to control for the Scots.
Yeah, the Scots coaching staff, they preach a lot of patience and smart ball movement, and it's showing right here as we watch.
3, 2, 1 on the shot clock, a last-second shot by James Allen, right into the big net of the Leopard goalkeeper, and now the Leopards on the attack for only the second time this afternoon. So the Leopards working a clockwise rotation as the ride up front by number 22 for the Scots, John Jordan. And he'll take number 35, Mills, all the way down into X. And they come out of X on the near side with Jacob Kirchhoffer. And before the shot by Kirchhoffer, a foul against the Leopards. And 2 possessions for the Leopards, both of them end in turnovers to the Scots.
Yeah, we hope that is an ongoing trend, as I know their coaching staff feels the same way. But I think they'll rebound, and we'll see a more closely matched outcome here.
So 6:45 remaining in the opening quarter, and Lovejoy trying to control the ball on the far side. They lose it out of bounds. A nice attempt there by Lucas, but instead it will be number 2, Jack Summer, who will bring the ball back into play for Highland Park.
Coach is telling the Leopards to calm down, be patient, and not force plays.
And an unusually long stoppage of time here with 6:42 to play in the opening quarter of this Class B state semifinal. And the winner of this contest will play in the Class B state championship game. We'll have that game for you tomorrow morning right here on Game On Sports pregame show at 9:55 a.m. Central. And the face-off of the Class B state championship from Magnolia High School tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. right here on Game On Sports. So the officials sorting things out. And Highland Park will be awarded possession as we'll resume play. The ball now put back in play with 6:40 remaining in the first. Ground ball there picked up. The ground ball win for number 15, Kevin McGee. And McGee and the Leopards quickly back on the attack. A nice pickup there on the unforced error by the Scots. Forcing a ground ball and the ground ball win, Highland Park.
Got caught not looking.
Mac Dixon feeding forward to James Allen. Allen crushed. A huge hit by number 2, Zachary Branch. As Mr. Branch and Mr. Allen introduced themselves 15 yards out from goal.
Promptly.
And James Allen none the worse for wear. He's back up on his feet, goal line extended on the far side, as Highland Park will control the shot clock down to 52 as we hit the midway point of this opening quarter in the Class B state semifinal. McCutcheon, the goal scorer for Highland Park, working goal line extended on the far side. Marked by Nathan White, wearing number 43 for the Leopards this afternoon. They find James Allen in X. Working a clockwise rotation this time, they come back to number 28, Jackson McGinley.
Yeah, Connor McCutcheon of the Scots, he's only a sophomore, but he's played a big role in why they're here this afternoon.
Allen working short goal line extended, looking for a cutting Dean Doolin. And the shot by Doolin wide of the net. James Allen will bring the ball back into play for Highland Park as they're down to 10 on the shot clock. Loose ball scooped up by Doolin. Shot clock at 5, and now the ground ball win for Lucas Lovejoy as Kevin McGee with his second consecutive ground ball win will feed number 21, Jacob Kirchhoffer.
That was a good steal by McGee to bring him down and get him in position to get on the scoreboard.
Kirchhoffer back to McGee, low bouncing shot. Pushed wide by Walker Fitzgerald. And the Leopards bring the ball back into play with 65 on the shot clock. 5 minutes remain in quarter number 1. All the way back up top go the Leopards to number 15, Kevin McGee. I'm sorry, that's 35, Joseph Mills, that had that ground ball win earlier. And now this loose ball, the ground ball win there for number 15, Dean Doolin. So Highland Park back on the job. And that's the third consecutive possession by the Leopards that has ended in a turnover to Highland Park. And now Highland Park will turn the ball back over with 4.5 remaining. So looks like some opening quarter jitters here for both teams. Only a 1-0 score with 4.5 to play in the first.
You're absolutely right, and Lovejoy needs to take advantage of this turnover as they look at for number 16, Luke Armstrong.
Yeah, Armstrong had control there on the near side, and now possession in X for the Leopards as they go far side. Number 22 for the Scots, John Jordan, marking on the far side. The wraparound coming to the near side with number 26, I believe that is, Cameron Battistini. Shot clock at 35 for the Leopards as Kirchhoffer goes back into X. The wraparound quick shot, bouncing high shot saved by Walker Fitzgerald. And good play there by the Leopards. They just weren't able to get enough mustard on the shot.
Yeah, they would like to have that one to do all over again. And the Scots are going to try and take advantage of it, and they do.
Indeed, the wide open look for number 14, Grady Gearing. And it's now a 2-0 lead for the Highland Park B squad. Highland Park Scots 2, Lucas Lovejoy 0. And we'll take a look here on the goal by Gearing. As number 14, one-on-one right on the doorstep, and able to put that ball past the goalkeeper, Nolan Morrow.
Good play overall, no selfishness on the field as far as ball handling, and in the net it goes.
So McCutcheon and Gearing with a goal apiece for Highland Park, and they lead 2-0 here in the Class B state semifinal. A foul on the faceoff by Highland Park will give Lovejoy control, as Lovejoy will look to get their first point on the board here in this state semifinal. That is the Luke Armstrong, number 16, working in X, alongside number 20, Owen McGee. They come back up top, do the Leopards. Shot clock under 60, as number 35, Joseph Mills, will be marked by John Jordan, wearing 22 for the Scots.
Patient ball movement on part of the Leopards. Good shot on goal. It didn't go.
A low shot there by Owen McGee, scooped up by Fitzgerald, and so far Walker Fitzgerald, the goalkeeper for Highland Park, 3 for 3 in saves this afternoon. So Fitzgerald keeping the Leopards off the scoreboard as we approach 2.5 minutes to play in quarter number 1.
Yeah, Fitzgerald, he came to play today. They rely on him to block those shots and help them advance to the finals.
And down the far sideline now with control is Highland Park's number 1, Colton Highland. Highland bowled over from behind, and a foul call against Brody Cooper will give the Scots possession, goal line extended on the far side. And they're going to have James Allen wanted to put the ball in play from X, but the official will bring Allen back. He'll stay in X, but he'll need to move farther to the sideline, goal line extended. And now the official has Mr. Allen where he wants him to be restart play with 2:18 to play in the first.
Watch how they patiently move the ball around, slowly trying to move it down inside, trying to make something happen.
On the near side, the latest goal scorer, Grady Gearing, wearing 14 for the Scots. He'll go back to Allen in X. Allen marked there by number 19, Zane Kuzinski. And starting in for the goal, number 10, James Allen. As Allen will put his name in the scorebook this afternoon with 2 minutes to play in the first. 3-0 the lead for Highland Park. And a look here at a beautiful goal coming from X by James Allen.
Yeah, that was a pretty shot.
Puts a move there on Kuzinski.
Allen, only a sophomore, came to play today.
And so James Allen now on the scorebook. 3-0 the lead.
Lovejoy.
And Lovejoy will take timeout. We'll step aside as well. 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Highland Park 3, Lucas Lovejoy 0 in our Class B state semifinal. Back in a moment on Game On Sports Network. And folks, we welcome you back here to Mustang Stadium at Magnolia West High School. Alongside Tom McGee, Brian Shackelford here, and coming out of the timeout by Lovejoy. Following the goal by Highland Park, 3-0 the advantage for the Highland Park B squad as they look to punch their ticket to the Class B state championship. This face-off turning into a ground ball. And the opportunity scooped up, but a whistle now going against Lovejoy. And that's the last thing the Leopards needed there, was to lose that face-off, as now Highland Park with an opportunity to extend this 3-0 lead. And this game looking very reminiscent to the game these two teams played in their only matchup of the season a little over 3 weeks ago, Tom, as Highland Park won that match at Lucas Lovejoy by a score of 9-2. So as I'd said in the open, these two teams very familiar opponents, as Highland Park finishes as the Class B North champion at a 5-1 record in district, 16-2-1 on the year. And the only losses for this Highland Park B squad all season were to Prosper and the Prosper JV squad. They tied the Frisco JV squad. So the Highland Park B squad, if you thought the Class A squad that's in the Class AA playoffs was good, this Class B squad here equally as good in this B division.
Yeah, and you look over there on their bench and see how many reserves they've got over there. They've got enough to field 3 teams over there on the sidelines.
Yeah, if THSLL would let them have a Class C squad, they would probably field one as well, because they do have plenty of subs over there on the sideline now as Lucas Lovejoy takes control. And Highland Park B ranked as the #1 team here in Class B coming into the playoffs. In the regional round, they defeat Austin LC Anderson by a score of 13-4. And then in last week's state quarterfinal, defeated the #8 seed San Antonio Alamo Heights 8-4. Lucas Lovejoy also in Class B North, also finishing with a 5-1 record. And their lone loss in district play to these Highland Park Scots. So as Lovejoy controls, a loose ground ball picked up there with the win, number 40, Conrad Noble. But the ball goes out of bounds, and it will be Lucas Lovejoy who brings the ball back into play.
Yeah, Lovejoy's got a sweet record in their own right. They're 13-3, and like you said, 5-1 in district.
Yeah, 5-1 in district play, and there are 3 losses this season to Class A Lake Travis and TMI Episcopal, who we'll see in our next game. But folks, we've reached the end of the first quarter of play here at Mustang Stadium. It's Highland Park B 3, Lucas Lovejoy 0. We'll be back with the second quarter in just a moment, right here on Game On Sports.
do better than me.
Back to the second quarter.
And folks, we welcome you back here to the second quarter of action in the Texas High School Lacrosse League State B semifinal. We open the second quarter Highland Park B squad with a 3-0 lead over Lucas Lovejoy. And that first quarter, as the scoreboard dictated, Tom, all Highland Park with 3 goals. And Lucas Lovejoy with just too many unforced errors in the first 12 minutes.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect that to be the case in this early of the ball game.
Number 40.
But during that halftime, the coaches are preaching, patience and maintaining control of the ball once they get it down on their end of the field.
So Highland Park now in control. They're shooting to the goal on the north side of the field here on the left side as you're looking on your tablet, smartphone, or computing device. And folks, we want to thank you for tuning in today here on Game On Sports, wherever you may be watching across the state, throughout the country, or around the world on the World Wide Web. We thank you for joining us here for the 2024 Texas High School Lacrosse League State Championships. Darting in from the near side goal line extended, that's number 1 for Highland Park, Colton Highland. And the ball going out of bounds. It will be brought back into play by Highland Park. They still have 15 on the shot clock, Tom, with an opportunity to extend this 3-goal advantage.
You can bet they're going to be shooting too. They're not going to let that time elapse.
Allen working out of X. He'll be marked by number 43, Nathan White of the Leopards. Wrapping around 3 on the shot clock. And no shot. So effective defense there by the Leopards. That's probably the first big win for Lucas Lovejoy in this game so far.
Yeah, they're going to...
Moving in quickly, a low shot and a goal for the Lucas Lovejoy Leopards. With the goal, that's number 20, Owen McGee.
Good overall patience on that. Took his time, got the ground ball shot. Lower left-hand portion of the cage for a goal.
And as you'll see here on the replay, McGee left wide open on the near side goal line, extended, takes that pass, goes 5-hole on the goalie, Walker Fitzgerald. And with 10:27 to play before halftime, it's now Highland Park Scots 3, Lucas Lovejoy Leopards 1. The face-off win for number 26, Owen Lazuski. And Highland Park will control as we have almost 2 minutes gone here in the second quarter. But you can't say enough about a great offensive play there by Owen McGee and the Lovejoy Leopards on that goal.
Absolutely, and they showed why they're here, the talent that came forth on that shot.
And Lovejoy, the number 4 seed overall in Class B in the playoffs, finishing in second place to this Highland Park B squad in Class B North. Like I said, there are only 3 losses on the season, 1 to Class A Lake Travis, and the other 2 losses to Class B opponents, these Highland Park Scots, as well as the San Antonio TMI Episcopal Panthers, who we will see in our next Class B semifinal. And if you think that the Highland Park Scots are a juggernaut in Class B, just wait until we see TMI Episcopal in that second semifinal.
You're absolutely right. The talent on both those teams is phenomenal. they could take on any D3 squad, I firmly believe.
And Lucas Lovejoy punching their ticket into this semifinal in the regional round, defeating the number 12 seed Magnolia 11-6, and then winning the state quarterfinal last week against Leander Vista Ridge 14-9. So a well-deserved position here as the 4 seed for Lucas Lovejoy, and remaining in their way to advance to the state championship game are these Highland Park Scots. And it was a 7-goal victory for Highland Park 3 weeks ago. And Lucas Lovejoy now only trailing by 2, but we'll see if they're equal to the task this afternoon, because as we've talked about many times on these broadcasts, Tom, anything can happen on one given day.
Absolutely, and especially in the high school ranks. Both these squads have great talent, and the score is not reflective of what's going to transpire.
Well, I think they're looking at more of a very defensive mentality, because it looks like each possession so far, Tom, has been quite deliberate. Like they're, sometimes you want to see fast-paced, hey, let's just get a few shots on goal, rattle the goalkeeper, mix up the defense, let's see what's going on. But both of these coaches seem to be more focused on a very methodical offense. Let's run our plays, let's do our thing, let's look for the right open shot. They're not worried about running up the score here. They're just looking to have one more than the other team when the final horn sounds.
Yeah, when you watch them practice and they set up for a shot on goal, it's a joy, and it's just beautiful to watch how they move the ball around. They finally get the ball inside to someone that can take a shot like they do right here.
And that shot by number 15, Kevin McGee, going just wide. And Lucas Lovejoy will maintain control, shot clock at 49, with 8:45 remaining in the first half, as Jacob Kirchhoffer will bring the ball back into X for the Leopards. Kirchhoffer coming to the near side with 16, Luke Armstrong. So keep an eye on number 16. I believe, Tom, he's the leading goal scorer this season for the Leopards, Luke Armstrong.
He is, and he's a producer, and the coaches are really relying on him to step up today.
So coming in, goal line extended on the near side. That's Kirchhoffer once again. He has an open look, goes just over the top of the crossbar, trying to go upper side on the left shoulder of the goalkeeper Fitzgerald, and just a little bit too high. But Lucas Lovejoy maintains control. The shot clock, though, Tom, down to 25.
Yeah, they'll patiently get a couple of passes in, and here comes what I thought was going to be a shot. It was just a missed pass.
Yeah, a beautiful look there for Luke Armstrong, but he couldn't find the handle on the ball as he was cutting right in to the mouth of the crease.
You've got 10 seconds to do something here, Brian.
Down to 7 as we hit 8 minutes to play before halftime. A shot, bounce shot, does not touch the goal, and that will be a shot clock violation on Lovejoy. So the last two possessions for each team, or the last possession for each team, the last two possessions in this game, both shot clock violations. So defense really making its mark here in the second quarter of this Class B state semifinal.
Yeah, and talking with Chris Silva, the head coach of the Leopards, he was preaching defense while in the same breath talking about getting the ground ball.
Getting in the middle for Armstrong.
Almost.
Shot on the rebound, but they wipe away the goal. The official says no goal, whistle before the shot. And now the umpire the referee on the far side overruling the umpire. The umpire wanted to give possession to Highland Park. Now they both agree, no shot. The whistle came before the shot, but the referee overruling and giving possession to Lucas Lovejoy. And folks, we want to welcome you back here. For those of you that lost our broadcast, Brian Shackelford and Tom McGee welcoming you back here to Mustang Stadium on the campus of Magnolia West High School in Magnolia, Texas. As we resume play here with just under 3 minutes remaining before halftime, Lucas Lovejoy scores right there. And that was all determination right there from number 21, Jacob Kirchhoffer. He willed that ball into the net past the Scots goalkeeper, Walker Fitzgerald.
He's a midfield senior. He came to play today. They depend on him, and he made something happen, and they were able to take advantage of that possession returning to them to tie this ball game.
And the shot slightly deflected by number 14, Grady Gearing, but it wasn't enough. Trickles in over the goal line, and the three goals to start the game by Highland Park have been answered by Lovejoy. We're tied at 3 with 2:45 to play in the half.
Yeah, Highland Park once again winning the face-off.
Yeah, face-off has been controlled effectively by Highland Park so far in this game, as Owen Lazuski is 5 of 6 on face-offs in the match. Now an unforced error creating a ground ball near midfield. And the winner on that ground ball opportunity, number 1, Colton Highland for the Scots. So now the Scots, who felt like they were comfortably in control at the end of the first quarter, 3-0, now find themselves in a dogfight tied at 3, and we've got just over 2 minutes to play in the half.
Yeah, the Leopards' defense, if you've seen it, they've stepped up a bit. They're pressing pretty much at the midfield line.
And what we're seeing here, Tom, is this something that Coach Chris Selva has noticed in Highland Park that he's taking advantage of, or has he just been able to will his team into turning up the defensive intensity, creating offensive opportunities?
Well, I think they tweaked up their game plan for this Scots ball club, because they know what they can expect from them, and they know that the Scots are going to play some heads-up ball against them.
And on the far side, goal line extended. That's number 10, James Allen. He already has 1 goal in the match. Looking for another, and a mom goal into the side of the net from the outside. So Nolan Morrow with the save on the mom goal. It remains tied at 3, and we have 85 ticks remaining in the first half. Shot clock at 70 for the Leopards. So a 14-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Game clock has the advantage. But Lucas Lovejoy here, Tom, you would not have thought this at the end of the first quarter, but here they are with a minute to play in the half, and they have an opportunity to milk most of this clock and possibly take a lead into the halftime break.
Yeah, they dwindled down some of their mistakes, and I think the the timeouts were crucial for both teams to get a strategy back online.
Jacob Kirchhoffer going back up top to Owen McGee, number 20. Now they find Mills on the near side. Shot clock at 30, 45 to play in the half. Charging in, that's Kirchhoffer, low bouncing shot. Bounces up high. So you've got to give credit over there to the long stick midi on that far side, number 40, Conrad Noble. He is doing his job and getting in the way of these Leopard attackers, because these shots they're getting to Walker Fitzgerald with almost no oomph on them. No velocity. So now Highland Park with a chance. 20 seconds to play in the half. Will we have a tie score at the halftime, or will one of these teams have the lead? Charging in, that's Jackson McGinley. They go in X to Allen over his head. Less than 10 seconds to play. Challenge in the corner. And the ball out of bounds off of the Leopards' Nathan White. And a whistle stops play with 4 seconds remaining in the half. And we'll have a timeout here by Highland Park. We'll stay right here with the game, as this will be a short timeout as Highland Park spends their second and final timeout of the half. So, Tom, get into the mind here of the Highland Park Brain Trust, because they feel that this is important enough. And, of course, you can't take these timeouts with you to the second half, so you might as well use it. But what is the play here with 4 seconds to play in the half?
I think what they're going to do is dish out 1 or 2 quick passes and try a shot on goal. It's about all they have time for. 4 seconds, or, it's amazing.
Maybe one pass and a shot?
Maybe one pass and a shot.
So is this very much like the end of a basketball game where you see the coach drawing up a specific play that perhaps they've been working on all year for that type of situation where it's either one pass or two very quick passes and then a shot on goal?
They may throw one out on top and take one long shot in.
And the officials have readjusted the game clock here. They put 2 seconds back on the clock, and those 2 ticks may be very crucial here to this offensive attempt by Highland Park.
Yeah, like I said, I think they may just do one. If they take the ball from behind the cage, they may throw it once out long to up top, and then one last desperate shot.
And so we'll resume play here with 6 seconds remaining. And the halftime here coming up, brought to you by Next Gen Audio Video. Game On would like to thank one of our sponsors for this weekend's games, Next Gen Audio Video, serving the North Dallas area since 2010 with services that include home theater design and installation. And now here come the Scots, 3 seconds to play in the half. Allen centering, looking for number 1, Colton Highland, and the pass goes awry as the horn sounds, bringing us to halftime. Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the end of the first half of play and our first of 2 Class B state semifinals here from Magnolia West High School on Game On Sports. And your score at the halftime break in our first Class B semifinal, it's all tied up. Lucas Lovejoy Leopards 3, Highland Park B Scots 3. And Tom, this could not be a more dichotomous tale of 2 quarters of play as Highland Park owned the first 12 minutes. The second 12-minute stanza, though, belonged entirely to the Lucas Lovejoy Leopards.
I think the Lovejoy Leopards settled down a little bit. You know, the first couple of minutes, there's some jitters trying to establish, what offense work, what defense is working. And like you said, I think they just settled down in the second quarter and were able to make hay with it by tying this ball game up.
And folks, once again, this halftime break brought to you by Next Gen Audio Video, as they've been serving North Dallas since 2010 with services that include home theater design and installation. And you'll have peace of mind knowing, folks, that all of your audiovisual needs are in the hands of people who care. You can check out their services online right now at nextgenaudiovideo.com. We'll step aside for the halftime break here at Magnolia West High School. Come right back. Nothing's been decided yet. We're knotted at 3 at halftime as you're watching THSLL Semifinal Saturday live on Game On Sports.
For the Class B Highland Park team, All-State Attackman, James Allen, All-District Pogo, Owen Maguski, All-District Sophomore Defender, Jack Sumner. For the Lovejoy, All-State Senior Midfielder, Cameron Jack Agostini, All-State Defender, Senior Jack Frank, All-State Captain, Junior Owen McGee, All-State Junior Midfielder Kevin McGee, and All-District Attackman Senior Jacob Hoffer. Quite the accolades, gentlemen. Congratulations. You should be proud.
And ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you back here to Mustang Stadium on the campus of Magnolia West High School alongside Tom McGee. This is Brian Shackelford bringing you coverage of the 2024 Texas High School Lacrosse League State Championships. And Tom, this is our second of 3 games on the day here at Mustang Stadium, this first Class B state semifinal. And this was a tale of 2 different quarters for both of these teams as we're knotted at 3, ready to begin the third quarter.
And I don't think either side's disappointed, being a 3-3 tie at the halfway mark, like we were talking earlier. The Leopards coming back in the second quarter and tying this ball game up has shown these Scots that they definitely have a game plan and that they're here to stay.
No, Coach Chris Silva of the Leopards making some adjustments in the second quarter as the Highland Park Scots led 3-0 at the end of the first 12 minutes of play. And then the second quarter was all Lovejoy Leopards as they scored 3 goals of their own. Nolan Morrow, the goalkeeper for the Leopards, pitching a shutout in the second quarter. And that's what has us knotted here at 3 as we conclude the halftime break. And folks, as we come back from break, we would like to thank one of our sponsors here today, Big Bad Carts. Game On Sports would like to thank our sponsor, Big Bad Carts, for the use of their golf carts here this weekend at the Texas High School Lacrosse League State Championships. Big Bad Carts will do custom golf carts with only the best parts the industry has to offer. And from mild to wild, they can do it all from their offices up in Salina, Texas. Check out more information on their website at www.bigbadcarts.com. Game On Sports would also like to thank our sponsor, the McKinney Police Association. And they are having a raffle for a vehicle at their annual charitable golf tournament coming up in a week and a half. This tournament will benefit officers during trying times. Those trying times include injuries, severely sick children, and many other things that tend to burden officers with expenses out of their control. And folks, you can assist this great cause by purchasing a $100 raffle ticket for your opportunity to win a brand new 2024 Cadillac CT4. The winner of this vehicle will be announced on the day of the tournament, May 24th, and you do not have to be present to win. So we're ready to begin the third quarter, and it's underway as Highland Park will control the face-off circle. The win for Owen Lazuski. And Tom, that has been the one clear advantage throughout the first half of play in this Class B state semifinal is Owen Lazuski with the face-off wins in the center circle for Highland Park.
You know, you're right on money on that one, and it so much sometimes depends on who wins these face-offs and gets these ground balls. And you got to hope that the Leopards have a response to that.
And we'll see the response from the Leopards right here. A foul call against Highland Park will give Lovejoy possession. And folks, one more reminder on that raffle. You do not have to be present to win that vehicle. Simply go to this website, www.cognitoforms.com/NEP services/Crest Car Raffle for your chance to purchase a $100 raffle ticket to win a brand new Cadillac CT4 and help out the officers of the McKinney Police Association. So returning to action here, down to 45 on the shot clock for the Leopards as they look to take their first lead of the game. They trailed as much as 3-0 at the end of one, but have come back with 3 goals of their own. Now Kirchhoffer with a move and a goal! That was mano-a-mano between Kirchhoffer and the goalkeeper Fitzgerald, and Kirchhoffer wins the battle and has the hat trick for the Leopards.
You saw Kirchhoffer sit there, go up, go down, go up, go down with his stick, trying to face off with that goalie, and made hay on that one.
And look at his ability to keep his feet just outside the crease, as you can see the official on the far side eyeing the feet of Kirchhoffer. And that goal coming with 10:49 remaining in the third quarter. The Lucas Lovejoy Leopards with their first lead of this Class B state semifinal, 4-3 over Highland Park. And Tom, that's 4 unanswered goals by Lucas Lovejoy.
And now they just won the face-off.
Yeah, things are starting to go. The momentum has clearly shifted in this game. About halfway through the second period, it appeared to head toward the Leopards side, but now the Leopards have the silent 12th man on the field. Or rather, the silent 11th man on the field in the form of Mo.
Mo, Larry, Curly.
Yeah. No, that's always a player you want to have on your team is Mr. Momentum. And certainly the Leopards have him on their side right now as they look to press the advantage ahead for the first time today. Number 15, Kevin McGee with the shot. And that's wide of the goal. It will be brought back into play out of X by our hat trick man of the afternoon, number 21, Jacob Kirchhoffer.
Yeah, they need to settle in and make a good pass and get another shot on goal.
Kirchhoffer back up top to Mills. Working the far sideline, 25 on the shot clock, and that shot all the way. The goalkeeper saw that all the way in, Walker Fitzgerald. But it's still a nice shot by Owen McGee as he looked to put his second tally on the board this afternoon.
Yeah, we'll see the Scots. We'll see how they respond to that last goal. But they're not rattled. They'll watch how they move the ball around.
And the penalty flag in the air landing on the turf. This will be a man-up advantage coming up for Highland Park. They'll play the advantage at the moment as Dean Doolin up top. And that shot well wide of goal, well outside, out of bounds. Now we'll get the penalty call as this is the first man-up opportunity for either team this afternoon.
Yes. Haven't seen too many like these so far.
And there's also another penalty marker out near midfield, so we'll see if these are two separate infractions or if two referees saw the same call. And it is an obstruction call against number 21, Jacob Kirchhoffer. So both officials seeing the same call. Kirchhoffer will sit in the sin bin for 60 seconds. Man-up advantage, Highland Park.
And they're going to make hay with it, too. They're going to be patient. They're not going to be too antsy right here.
And a nice block there on the pass by Zane Kuzinski, creating a ground ball opportunity near midfield. It will be pushed back across the midfield stripe by Mac Dixon, but right into the cross of number 13, Pierce Dardano. Pardon me, make that 43, Nathan White. So now the Leopards attacking shorthanded as the clock moves under 9 minutes to play in the third.
They're playing with a lot of confidence thus far in the second half, and that just goes to show you the good coaching that they receive.
And now the penalty to Kirchhoffer has expired. Both teams back at equal strength. And there's the goal for Lucas Lovejoy to extend the lead. Coming from the goal line, far side extended. It's the second goal of the match for number 20, Owen McGee.
He's a junior midfielder. Him and his brother serve well out there. And McGee was able to get that shot off right when he needed it.
And that's his twin brother, Kevin McGee, wearing number 15 out there with him. And Owen McGee with 2 goals in the game now, and Lucas Lovejoy extending the lead. It's now Lovejoy Leopards 5, Highland Park Scots 3, with just over 8.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Another whistle on the face-off. And possession will be given to Highland Park, so credit the face-off win once again to Lazuski. And with the face-off win on the foul, Tom, he's only lost, I believe, 2 face-offs this afternoon.
Yes, it's been interesting to watch that battle, and it'll progress as the game goes on.
And so the Highland Park Scots now with a scoring drought of over 15 minutes of game time. The last time they scored was in the late stages of the first quarter. They have not scored since. And it's going on almost 16 minutes of game time since the Scots have scored. They're down 5-3. A very unusual position for this Scots team. Back up top with number 19, Connor McCutcheon. McCutcheon marked by number 5, Drew Silliman. Or Silliman, rather, my apologies. As McCutcheon will regroup and go back up top to number 15, Dean Doolin. 33 on the shot clock. And, Tom, even though Highland Park is down by 2, still no panic yet from this Scots squad.
No, they've been methodical all game long with how they move the ball around before they decide to take it inside and shoot.
And Dean Doolin with a nice shot there. It looked like he had just put that in the goal, just inside the top corner, but the official rules no goal. It bounces off the front of the post, where the post and the crossbar meet, and the save by Nolan Morrow will give Lucas Lovejoy the opportunity to establish their own 3-goal lead this afternoon.
Yeah, they're going to run a designated play here.
Shot clock down to 50 as we move under 7 minutes to play in the third. Lucas Lovejoy in control of this game since the end of the first quarter. And they now have a 2-goal lead. They'll go back up top with number 15, Kevin McGee. Still keeping an eye here on number 16, Luke Armstrong, but McGee dispossessed. Great work there on defense by number 21, Matthew Park for Highland Park.
Yeah, that could come back to haunt him here.
Park working his way inside. And the shot deflected away by Morrow. He almost went coast to coast on that, Tom. But instead, a save by Morrow will give possession to Nathan White and the Leopards.
Just shows you the strength of the Lovejoy defense and how they play.
And White taking the ball across the timeline. They'll get it down the far sideline. As Lovejoy will slow things down and reset as we approach the midway point of this third quarter. Luke Armstrong, number 16, on the near side. And he's being defended by number 40, Conrad Noble with the long stick. 2 players in X now for the Leopards as McGee comes out of X. They go back up top. And the Leopards here are content to look for just the right shot. Shot clock down to 45. And now being ahead by 2 goals rather than being down, they can afford to take that extra second. As the shot right there by number 26, Cameron Battistini, goes right into the big net of Walker Fitzgerald.
Yeah, it was a good idea and a good shot. It just didn't work that time, but be watching for that to happen again.
Coming down on offense, Ford Blevins, the long stick midi for Highland Park. And he'll think better of it, dump off to Woods Harbison. Now Harbison working up top with number 28, Jackson McGinley, as the Highland Park offense goes back on the job with 5:25 to play in the third. Moving back into his familiar position in X behind the net, number 10, James Allen. Allen with one of the 3 goals this afternoon for Highland Park. He'll be marked by Armstrong. Chased back up top. They look for a cutting McGinley toward the net. And the errant pass, a ground ball opportunity for Dean Doolin. They'll reset now in X. It's Colton Highland. Shot clock at 30 as they look for Connor McCutcheon on the cut. And great defensive work there by Drew Silliman, number 5, the long stick midi for the Leopards, as he blocks that pass and gets the ball to the goalkeeper, Nolan Morrow.
That would have been a great assist there on that play, and it was a good idea. It just didn't work that time.
And now the Leopards pressing the attack. They go to the near side with Kirchhofer. Kirchhofer fakes, goes back in, and there's goal number 4 on the afternoon for number 21, Jacob Kirchhofer. It's now 6-3 Lovejoy, 4:39 to play in the third.
Wow, what a play. Patience, confidence all factored in on that shot, and they made hay with that one.
Yeah, look at the deke right there on Mac Dixon. Then Dixon quit covering him, thinking the shot had already gone. Kirchhofer reloads and fires, goes top shelf on Fitzgerald. That's now 4 goals for Kirchhofer in the match. And this is the largest lead in the game for Lovejoy. 6 unanswered goals, Tom, by the Lovejoy Leopards as they control the match here with 4:39 in the third quarter.
Everybody's contributing at this point, Brian. All 8 cylinders are clanging along, and they showed why they came here to play today.
And the face-off in the center circle, won once again by number 26, Owen Lazuski. But a ground ball opportunity stolen by number 33, Braden Gills. So the ground balls now are in favor of Lucas Lovejoy as they were bouncing all Highland Park's way in the first quarter.
Wow, what a difference.
Kirchhofer controlling on the near side, marked by number 4, Mac Dixon. And now Luke Armstrong in X. Going over to the far side with Owen McGee. So we'll watch as number 4, Mac Dixon, the long stick midi for Highland Park, keeps an eye on 21 in black. And as the shot clock hits 50 for the Leopards, the game clock is at 4 minutes to play in quarter number 3. Kirchhofer now in X, working with Luke Armstrong. Goes back to Owen McGee. A clockwise rotation here for the Leopards as they are taking their time on this offensive possession.
I think they're going to wind up coming right down the middle towards crease.
And the
just
shot,
like that shot.
And McGee trying to cut in from X. The shot deflected wide, ground ball opportunity. And stolen by Kirchhofer. Great offensive work there. That's yeoman's work right there by Jacob Kirchhofer to win that ground ball for the Leopards.
Yeah, Kirchhofer's playing both ends of the game well.
Kirchhofer now still marked on the near side, this time by number 40, Conrad Noble. And it looks like we have a stoppage of play by the officials with 3:17 as Owen McGee experiencing an equipment malfunction. That's corrected by the officials. Will resume play. 65 on the shot clock for the Leopards. And, Tom, this has been working very effective for Lucas Lovejoy here in the third quarter. They're putting shots on goal, resetting that shot clock, and then the attackers for the Leopards are playing great scramble ball here to get possession back for Lucas Lovejoy, like you see right there by number 35, Joseph Mills.
I think their confidence level on the part of the Leopards has really jumped up. They are not afraid to shoot on goal at this juncture.
Oh, a nice save there just a moment ago by Walker Fitzgerald. Now Kirchhofer tries the whip-around shot again, just wide. And number 15, Kevin McGee, brings the ball back into play for the Leopards. McGee working on his counterpart, number 21, Matthew Park. Another shot. And this goes out of bounds on the near side, but still the Leopards will control as Kirchhofer will inbound. Back up top with number 35, Joseph Mills. Mills slipping on the turf but gets away from John Jordan. Now Kirchhofer and Max marked once again by Mac Dixon. Kirchhofer comes back up, shot. A one-timer there by the Leopards, and a kick save by Walker Fitzgerald to keep it out of net.
Yeah, that was something to see.
A ground ball scramble, possession awarded to Lovejoy as the shot clock reset on that shot. I believe that was number 15, Kevin McGee, with the one-time opportunity. And now he'll go up to offer a screen to allow Mills to try to get away from Jack Summer. We're under 2 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. And just like the second quarter, this third quarter has been all Lovejoy Leopards.
They've really come forth in this third quarter here. And they're showing good patience. And like I said, they are not afraid to shoot on goal.
Kirchhofer once again working with McGee and X. They go back up top on the clockwise rotation. Kevin McGee now coming down on Matthew Park. A shot by Kevin McGee out of bounds. And Kirchhofer will inbound as they have 47 on the shot clock and 86 seconds to play in the third. Kirchhofer will wrap around from the near side. Great save there by Walker Fitzgerald as he got that net down just in the nick of time.
Yeah, Fitz was right there on the spot, saw the ball coming, and was able to react to it.
And another ground ball win for the Leopards. And give credit to the long stick midi on the defensive side. That was Nathan White that scooped that ball back into the offensive end and allowed the Leopards to stay on offense. Time stopped here with a minute to play in the third. Not sure what that signal is. It looks like they're going to reset the shot clock, I believe. Yes, and that's what that is. They've reset the shot clock to 80 for the Leopards. So now the shot clock no longer a factor as we have 57 seconds to play in the third. And the Leopards firmly in control here in the third quarter, leading by 3.
They've come back with a vengeance, and they're playing their style of ball that brought them, to this point this season.
Working up top, number 26, Cameron Battistini. They'll go back into X with Luke Armstrong. Armstrong marked by Matthew Park. Low shot, out of bounds, and the Leopards will control with 31 ticks remaining. We now have more than one ball on the field. That would make it interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we play with 2 if we need to.
Make it a new rule. When you're down by 10 goals, then the offense, if you're down, you get 2 balls.
Why not?
Yeah, there you go. So here we go. McGee will control for the Leopards. 25 seconds to play in the third. Joseph, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think they're going to take their time here and take a sure shot.
Joseph Mills looking for that right shot. Instead, he'll dish into X. Kirchhofer, goal line extended on the near side. Looking for an opening. He'll weave in there.
Oh, wow, that was
How does Jacob Kirchhofer get in there through 4 Highland Park defenders to get that shot off on Walker Fitzgerald?
He just sliced through that defense like butter, and that was what you saw there.
6 seconds to play in the third. As the Leopards in control coming out of X. 3, 2, can they get a shot off? They do not, as the horn sounds, ending our third quarter of play. Folks, we've got 3 quarters in the books this afternoon from Mustang Stadium on the campus of Magnolia West High School. We'll be back with the fourth quarter in just a moment. Lovejoy Leopards 6, Highland Park Scots 3. Folks, you're watching semifinal Saturday for THSLL live on Game On Sports Network.
4-2. About 6 minutes left in the in the third. Another score update for the game across town. Highland Park just tied it up, 4 apiece on ESV, with about 7 minutes left in the third.
And folks, we welcome you back here for the fourth quarter of action in the Class B state semifinal. The Highland Park rooting area there in full throat, rooting on their Scots as we have faced off to begin quarter number 4. And in 12 minutes time, Tom, one of these teams will punch their ticket to tomorrow morning's state championship game at Magnolia High School.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of folks over there for that one tomorrow. You can best rest assured on that one.
So the opening 12 minutes of this game, the first quarter belonging completely to Highland Park. They lead 3-0 at the end of the first 12 minutes. And then the intervening 24 minutes belonged exclusively to the Lovejoy Leopards. They've scored 6 unanswered goals. And with 30 seconds gone here in the final stanza this afternoon, it's 6-3 in favor of Lovejoy as the adjustments made by Chris Silva have paid dividends this afternoon for the Lovejoy Leopards. Yeah,
it looks like they're using the shot clock a little as we enter into this fourth quarter. No sense of urgency per se, but as we get closer to the shot clock with only 25 seconds left to see if they get a shot on goal.
And now a minute gone in the fourth. A turnaround shot by Kirchhoffer. Bounces that off the outside of the near post. But scooped up by Kevin McGee. And once again, well, they don't give him a fresh shot clock, although they should. Shot clock at 10 for Lovejoy. The Lovejoy faithful screaming for the shot clock reset. But apparently that did not draw iron.
The ball hit the iron, I thought.
Shot. Is that a goal? It is. What an amazing shot there by Kevin McGee to extend the Leopard lead. Both the McGee brothers on the board here in this state semifinal for the Leopards.
That's fun to watch, and you know their parents are just so stoked for those kids. They've been blood, sweat, and tears all the way to this point in the season, and way to go, McGee brothers.
Wow, look at it. He bounces that in with maybe 8 inches of room between the left ankle of Walker Fitzgerald and that post, and it's now Lovejoy Leopards 7, Highland Park Scots 3.
Yeah, we've always said this game could boil down to a matter of inches in that cage area.
And now the face-off win once again for the Fogo specialist Owen Lazuski. Highland Park desperately needing a goal, and they get one immediately in the on the shot by Colton Highland. And that right there, Tom, that is the first goal for Highland Park in 28 minutes of game time.
If you can believe it. But he came down with self-confidence, took his time and got a great shot and was able to capitalize. Absolutely.
A nice look there on the replay. So the first goal for Highland Park since they scored with just over 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. So we've had almost 28 minutes of game time elapse since Highland Park has scored, and it still remains a 7-4 lead for Lovejoy. So instead of a 4-goal lead, Highland Park has gotten it back down to 3. We still have plenty of lacrosse to play here with 10 minutes to go in the fourth.
When you look at these two squads, they absolutely do, Brian. Plenty of time. Lovejoy lost the face-off, and Highland Park's trying to make it hurt, and they did.
And right there, another goal within a minute's time as number 28, Jackson McGinley, cuts the lead down to 2 for the Scots. Hold on to your hat, folks. Here comes Highland Park.
My, oh, my.
As we take a look at the replay here, as McGinley gets away from the ride by Lovejoy. And, I mean, Luke Armstrong was all over him, and he still gets that shot off and gets it past Nolan Morrow.
Absolutely. It was fun to watch.
So
see who wins this face-off.
7-5 the advantage for Lovejoy. Another face-off win for Lazuski. And could Owen Lazuski's dominance in the face-off circle be the difference here in this fourth quarter? We'll find out. Once again, it's Colton Highland. A shot. Allen off the post. Great save there by Nolan Morrow. And now the whistle. That looked like that was going in, but the big net flashed by Morrow. Are they calling that a goal? No, they're awarding possession here. Okay, so a foul call against Morrow on that play. Highland Park still has possession. They get a fresh 80 on the shot clock. 9:20 to play in regulation. Well, Lovejoy 7, Highland Park 5.
Minute and a half ago, they're up by 4, and now it's only 2, and they're looking to shave it to just 1 here.
Yeah, momentum had firmly been on the side of the Leopards for quite a ways in this game, for at least the middle 2 quarters.
That's 2 attempts right there on the Scots part. those shots should have gone.
McGinley on the wraparound. As the Leopards turn up the defensive effort, Kirchhofer marking Jackson McGinley, make that Owen McGee wearing number 20. Now James Allen in X. Shot clock at 40. Shot from distance well wide of goal by number 19, Connor McCutcheon. And you've got to give the Scots credit. They're doing everything they can to get that silent 11th player momentum back on their side with 8:40 to play in the fourth.
And they've been in this position before where they've been down a couple of goals and come back. So I'm seeing patience here, and I'm seeing not a huge sense of urgency. These kids know what to do in this circumstance.
And an errant pass now headed back toward midfield. Ground ball opportunity. They'll scoop the ball back into the offensive zone. A ground ball win for Jackson McGinley. 17 on the shot clock for the Scots. The shot clock down to 10. Working goal line extended on the far side. That's number 14, Grady Gearing. Back up top with 5 on the shot clock. Dean Doolin. Doolin looking for a shot. Spin move. Goes low. Blocked. And right there, that's the Purple Heart for number 13, Pierce Dardano. He made that save for Lovejoy in, we won't say where. We'll just give him the Purple Heart.
Yeah. He's not feeling good at this juncture.
Nope. So the cup check successful there for number 13, Pierce Dardano, but more importantly, shot clock violation on Highland Park, and Lovejoy with the ball, 8 minutes to play in the fourth.
Yeah, Lovejoy's got to turn this momentum around and get the monkey off their back and come down and make something happen and stifle this Scots attack.
No, they'll still need to do more than just take 80 seconds off the clock here, as we still have 7:45 to play in the fourth. They'll need some more offensive production if they want to punch that ticket to tomorrow morning's state championship. Jacob Kirchhofer and X being marked there by Mac Dixon. He'll come goal line extended on the far side, go back up top as the offense will reset for the Leopards with 50 on the shot clock.
Clock rolling with 7:20 left in the ball game. The Leopards trying to be patient and still utilize that shot clock.
Cameron Battistini now charging in. All alone, goal line extended. A low shot by Owen McGee, and he will score. That's exactly what the Leopards needed right there, Tom McGee, and it's back to a 3-goal advantage for Lucas Lovejoy.
Boy, I didn't think it could happen this quick.
Great look here coming up on the replay.
He goes low shelf on this one.
Left all alone by the Highland Park defense.
8-5.
And bounces that, four-hole side pocket. I don't know how he got that in between the hip of Fitzgerald and the goal, but he did.
They needed that goal, too, to reinforce their lead and to further gain more confidence.
So now Lucas Lovejoy 8, Highland Park 5. As another face-off win and another goal for Highland Park as Colton Highland comes down and answers in 7 seconds.
Like I said, these Scots have been here before. They've been down before, and they're not letting this 3-goal lead shake them. And now we're back to a two-goal deficit.
So give Colton Highland his second goal of the match, and it's now Lucas Lovejoy Leopards 8, Highland Park B Scots 6.
Score is now 8-6.
So another face-off win for Owen Lazuski. He's only lost 3 face-offs the entire match. They'll go all the way back to the goalkeeper, Walker Fitzgerald, as Highland Park back on the offensive job. And we're not even to the midway point of this fourth quarter. James Allen working up top. He'll take the ball on the wraparound, back into X on the far side, as the shot clock moves under 60 for Highland Park. Dean Doolin, number 15. Yard sale there as Doolin's cross is thrown 14 yards away from him.
1st and 10.
Not sure how that happens, and a turnover, the offside by Highland Park gives the ball back to Lucas Lovejoy.
We'll see if Lovejoy can answer back.
Yes, Lovejoy scoring to make it 8-5, and then Colton Highland answered for the Highland Park Scots in just 8 seconds of game time to put the lead back at 2 for the Lovejoy Leopards, and that's where we play, Tom, is it's an 8-6 advantage for Lovejoy as we have hit the midway point of this fourth quarter.
And there's plenty of lacrosse left in this matchup. You can tell both teams are able to do what they do best, and that's shoot on goal.
Number 15, Kevin McGee, with a goal in the game, the last goal scorer for Lucas Lovejoy, marked up top by Park. They'll dump back off, coming to Mills on the near side. Shot clock moving under 40. And a bad pass there by Mills looking for Kirchhofer. And they didn't need to move that quickly, did they, Tom? That's just an unforced error by Lovejoy.
Yeah, they really did.
So now a golden opportunity here for the Scots. With 5.5 to play in regulation. Shot and a goal. That's a hat trick. That's a hat trick in less than 3 minutes time for number 1, Colton Highland. It's now a single goal lead for Lucas Lovejoy.
Number 1, Colton Highland.
And we'll see the replay here as Highland notches his 3rd tally of the afternoon.
That young man is only a freshman, and he's playing like a senior in high school or better. That was just beautiful thought process and a shot on goal.
Well, here you go, folks. If you wanted a close game, you've got one now. It's 8-7 in favor of Lovejoy. And it looks like we have a timeout on the field. We'll see who's going to take timeout. It's Lovejoy. So, folks, we're going to step aside for a brief moment here. 5:29 to play in regulation. Highland Park trails by a single goal. We'll be back for the conclusion of this Class B state semifinal. Stay with us right here on Game On Sports.
Highland Park is up on ESP 6-5 going into the 4th.
Folks, we welcome you back here to Magnolia West High School. Alongside Tom McGee, this is Brian Shackelford bringing you exclusive coverage of this Class B state semifinal. Highland Park has closed what was a 4-goal advantage for the Lovejoy Leopards down to a single goal. And it's another face-off win for Highland Park as Owen Lazuski has just dominated the face-off circle for the Scots this afternoon. But a penalty right there is loose ball. Allen loses it out of bounds.
They sure did, and that's exactly what Lovejoy needed to have happen. They didn't need to lose that ball on that opening mark there. So we'll see what they can do here. We've got us a nail-biter here going on.
A single goal advantage for the Lovejoy Leopards, and as we came back from break, you probably heard the Highland Park Scots faithful cheering because we just got a score update from the Class 2A semifinal taking place right now over at Magnolia High School. The Highland Park 2A squad leading that game over Episcopal School of Dallas 6-5 in what can only be described as a grudge match of a state semifinal there.
Oh, yes. Those two schools have been going at it lacrosse-wise for years.
Yeah, to say those two teams don't like each other is probably the understatement of the weekend.
That's a Super Bowl game in its own right going on over there right now.
So they begin quarter number 4 in the Class 2A state semifinal. Highland Park AA with a 6-5 advantage over Episcopal. And here, the Highland Park B squad trailing Lucas Lovejoy 8-7. A shot by Owen McGee, kick save by Fitzgerald out of bounds. And Kirchhofer will inbound once again for the Lovejoy Leopards. And Jacob Kirchhofer been playing excellent attack both offensively and defensively today for the Leopards. He leads their scoring with 4 goals, and he has made some critical plays on the defensive side of the ball for the Leopards as well today.
2 deflections keep the ball with the Leopards.
Lovejoy controls down to 10 on the shot clock, however, as we approach 4 minutes to play in the game. Kirchhofer double teamed as he's looking for a shot. Less than 10. They go inside. Looking once again for Luke Armstrong. And you've got to give Highland Park credit for this, that they have kept the Lovejoy leading scorer, Luke Armstrong, off the score sheet this afternoon. Mills wins that ground ball opportunity. It's scooped up loose, controlled now by number 24, Ford Blevins.
Well, they're going to wish they hadn't lost that rock on that one, Brian.
Colton Highland.
They scored every time they brought the ball down.
And there's Colton Highland with the game-tying score. He now has 4 goals of his own. And we're knotted up here with 3:28 to play in regulation.
Holy moly. Fantastic.
Look at the wraparound here on the replay by Colton Highland. That's amazing play by the freshman. Goes top shelf right over the edge of the net by Nolan Morrow. And Tom, here we are with 3:28 to play in regulation, and it's knotted up at 8 goals apiece.
Both these squads have been here before, but I kind of lean a little towards Highland Park with their experience and their storied history.
Plus the advantage they've had in the face-off circle today with number 26, Lazuski. He wins another face-off.
Face-off violation. It'll be Highland Park ball.
So a face-off foul there. And Highland Park with an opportunity to take the lead for the first time since early in the third quarter. 70 on the shot clock for the Scots, 3:12 to play in regulation. James Allen working in X. He'll go back up top to Dean Doolin. Doolin working up top with number 28, Jackson McGinley. McGinley marked by Kevin McGee. Forced into X. Down to 50 on the shot clock. And in a tie game like this, you still have time to find just the right shot, Tom. As Highland Park looks to be fairly deliberate here, the shot clock down to 40.
Yeah, they've been here before, and they've, like I said, they've scored just about every time they've brought the ball down so far in this fourth quarter.
McGinley out of X finds Doolin. Bounce shot saved Nolan Morrow. So great work with the big net there by Nolan Morrow. And now Lucas Lovejoy with an opportunity. 2.5 minutes in regulation in this tie match. Jacob Kirchhofer on the far side. He'll get a screen. Dump back up off top for Luke Armstrong. Kevin McGee up top. 60 on the shot clock. 2:10 in regulation. And do we still look for Armstrong here, or do we go with the hot hand in Kirchhofer?
Kirchhofer's what's brought him so far. My vote's on him.
Kevin McGee from distance, save Fitzgerald. Loose ground ball, scooped up by Lovejoy. And there's Luke Armstrong making a great play for the Leopards.
Yes, that was beautiful.
We're under 2 minutes to play in regulation. It's tied at 8. 70 on the shot clock for the Leopards. One of these teams goes to the state championship game tomorrow. The other team gets on the bus and goes home. 90 seconds to play in regulation. Kirchhofer on the far side gets away from Jack Sumner.
Plenty of time on the shot clock to make something happen, let something develop.
Joseph Mills from distance, save Fitzgerald. Dean Doolin now on the march. 80 seconds to play in the match. Shot clock no longer a factor. In the middle, Jackson McGinley. And a timeout taken as the clock is stopped with 1:10 to play in regulation. Highland Park will take timeout. Folks, we'll step aside and get ready for the exciting conclusion of this Class B state semifinal. We're tied at 8 with 70 seconds to play. Come right back. It's semifinal Saturday on Game On Sports Network.
In the fourth quarter.
And folks, we'll reset the scene for you here at Mustang Stadium at Magnolia West High School. 70 seconds remain in regulation play. The score, as you can see on your screen, is tied at 8 apiece. The shot clock no longer, 67 on the shot clock, so there's a 3-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. And Tom, Highland Park is in possession with the opportunity to punch their ticket to tomorrow morning's state championship.
I think the tide is slowly turning, and if they can play the ball smartly, I think they're going to end up with another goal, but who knows with that Lovejoy defense.
Colton Highland, a man possessed here in the second half with 4 goals for Highland Park in just the second half alone. We're inside the final minute of regulation as Highland working in X with number 15, Dean Doolin. Shot clock at 39, game clock at 42. Highland Park looking for the last shot as Highland marked in X by the long stick midi. He's going to get an opening there. Nice work right there by Brody Cooper to deny the shot.
That's some good defense there on account of Lovejoy Leopards.
Shot clock at 20, game clock 23. Highland Park with one more opportunity. Doolin has the ball dispossessed. Great work there as the Leopards will get the ball back to midfield. Picked up by Nathan White, 9 seconds. Kirchhoffer with possession, 5 seconds to play, timeout Lucas Lovejoy.
How do you spell overtime?
Well, we're going to find out here. We're going to keep it right here at Magnolia West as we've got 5 seconds. We'll check the clock. They may actually put a second or two back on, Tom, but Lovejoy takes their final timeout. And put yourself right here in the mind of Chris Silva. And they did. They put 3 seconds back on the clock, Tom. We've got 8 ticks remaining in regulation. Draw the play up for me if you're Chris Silva.
They got 2, maybe 3 passes worth before somebody's got to take a shot on goal. Somebody's got to get open towards the front of the crease or a nice long top of the key shot.
And folks, we just want to remind you once again that Game On Sports is more than just the home of the Texas High School Lacrosse League. We also broadcast basketball, football, baseball from high schools all over the great state of Texas. You can see our full schedule on our website at GameOnSportsNetwork.com, and you can stay up to date on every matchup we broadcast by following our social media channels. Simply search at Game On Sports Network on your social media engine of choice. So now one last effort here for the Lucas Lovejoy Leopards in regulation. They led as much as 8-3 in this game, and Highland Park has been storming back here in the late stages of the fourth quarter with 5 unanswered goals to tie the game. But yet the Lovejoy Leopards should have the last opportunity here in regulation play.
You're right, and I got to give the Scots a big E for effort, but the Leopards defense has really come on strong this second half, and we'll see what happens.
Owen McGee on the near side, 8 seconds to play, clock running. McGee looking for a shot, 4, 3, they get it! Oh, just wide. They get the ball to Kirchhoffer, checking for time on the clock.
That was a beautifully drawn up play, and they made it work.
1 second left. And the horn sounds, ladies and gentlemen, we are headed to overtime. We'll step aside for a quick break. The end of regulation play in the Class B state semifinal. Lucas Lovejoy 8, Highland Park 8. We'll be back for overtime as you're watching Texas High School Lacrosse League semifinal Saturday on Game On Sports.
For those of you that don't know, the OT is going to be 4 minutes, be sudden death. 4-minute time. First team to score goes to the finals.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you back to Mustang Stadium on the campus of Magnolia West High School. in Magnolia, Texas with Tom McGee. This is Brian Shackelford bringing you overtime in our first Class B state semifinal of the Texas High School Lacrosse League. It's a golden goal overtime. The first team to score will advance to the Class B state championship game. The face-off win for Owen Lazuski, and a foul call will give Highland Park control. And that might just be the critical factor here in a golden goal overtime as Lazuski wins the face-off for Highland Park.
Yeah, it's getting more and more exciting even for us to watch this transpire. We'll see what happens here as Highland Park has the rock.
And the entire crowd on their feet in this overtime session. It's a 4-minute overtime. It is golden goal. The first team to score will advance to the championship. And we will continue playing 4-minute overtime sessions until we have a winner. Working on the near side, number 19, Connor McCutcheon. He has one goal in the game, denied by Lovejoy. Shot clock at 45. McCutcheon still trying to work inside. He'll shoot high over the top of goal. And James Allen and X will bring the ball back into play for Highland Park.
Connor McCutcheon.
Lucas Lovejoy trying to deny the Scots and have a chance at an offensive possession. They go back up top with number 5, Nick Kinder. Or pardon me, make that 15, Dean Doolin, I'm sorry. Allen on the near side with McCutcheon. Shot clock at 25. Kirchhoffer guarding McCutcheon. He'll shoot and score! And the Highland Park Scots will play in tomorrow morning's Class B state championship. Your final score in overtime. Highland Park comes storming back with 6 unanswered goals. Highland Park 9, Lucas Lovejoy 8. And you can look right down there on the track as the Highland Park faithful go wild.
Just an overall good standard play.
We'll take a look at the replay here on the game-winning, the state semifinal winning goal by Connor McCutcheon. Bounces it, goes 5-hole on Morrow, and that's the ticket to tomorrow's state championship game right there. He had the first goal in the game, and he's got the last goal in overtime. Connor McCutcheon, the game-winning goal for Highland Park.
Boy, you know that young man feels good, and rightfully so. Being down by 4 goals and coming back and taking it in overtime.
And we'll see if the Highland Park AA team can do the same thing, as they are trailing with less than 2 minutes to play over at Magnolia High School, 7-6, as Episcopal School of Dallas leading that one in the final 2 minutes. But Tom, as we wrap up here this afternoon from Magnolia West High School, the momentum swings in this game were phenomenal as Highland Park comes out just storming out of the gate in the first quarter. They lead 3-0 at the end of the first quarter over Lucas Lovejoy. And then the middle 28 minutes of this, 48-minute and change game, almost 49-minute game, the middle 28 minutes of that game belonged exclusively to Lucas Lovejoy as they scored 8 unanswered goals and established an 8-3 lead.
Yeah, it's just, I know it's disappointing for Lovejoy, but if you notice, Highland Park just kept their poise. They inched their way back into this ball game. They won their face-offs. They won some ground balls. And out of 7 trips down, I think they scored 4 goals and put themselves back in this game, and they ended up taking it all, and they advanced.
Well, they did what they needed to do in the last half of the fourth quarter as that's Colton Heinlein, number 1 for the Scots, had 4 goals in the fourth quarter alone, and that the key factor in that comeback as they come storming back from 5 goals down to tie the score and then force overtime. And then Connor McCutcheon, number 19, the gentleman who scored the first goal of the game, scores the game winner in overtime, and the Highland Park Scots will play in tomorrow morning's Class B state championship.
And that Class B championship game is going to be a good one too. It'll be a nail-biter, to say the least. Both teams coming, to bear with their great records that brought them here. And I look forward to seeing just how aggressive they are on their ground balls and face-offs.
And that will be a key factor, as we already know one opponent in tomorrow morning, state championship game. It will be the Highland Park B Scots as they come storming back to win 9-8 in overtime. But who will their opponent be, Tom? We're going to find that out next in our final game of the day here from Magnolia West High School. We'll have that game for you live at 2:25. We'll be back on the air 2:25 Central Time, as we'll step aside for now. But the final here in overtime, Highland Park 9 and Lucas Lovejoy 8. And Tom, your final thoughts here on what was an instant classic this afternoon in the Class B state semifinal.
Well, again, Highland Park's history and tradition, they always field a good team. Lovejoy came to play. They were 13-3, 5-1 in district, so they had nothing to hang their heads on about. And it looked like they were going to slowly inch away with this, but Highland Park just held on there in overtime.
No, Highland Park comes storming back with 5 goals of their own in the fourth quarter to force overtime. And as you saw right there in the opening minute of overtime, the game-winning goal by Connor McCutcheon will secure their spot in the Class B state championship game tomorrow. So, folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in about 45 minutes with our final game of the day here from Magnolia West as TMI Episcopal will face off against Dripping Springs. And, folks, today's Texas High School Lacrosse League Class B state semifinal is a copyrighted production of Game On Sports Network and the Texas High School Lacrosse League. Copyright 2024, all rights reserved. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of the pictures and accounts of this broadcast without the express consent of Game On Sports Network and the Texas High School Lacrosse League is strictly prohibited. Well, that wraps up our exciting overtime final here in this Class B state semifinal for Magnolia West High School. And ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for spending a little bit of your Saturday afternoon with us. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning for the Class B title game right here on Game On Sports as Highland Park wins it in overtime 9-8 over Lucas Lovejoy. On behalf of our entire Game On Sports broadcast crew, executive producer Fred Garner, operations manager Trevor Von Dom, today's producer and director Tim Polster, our outstanding crew Chris Reniger and Tyler Rodriguez, our support staff Lisa Carrillo, Michael Gaddis and Jen Von Dom, and my broadcast partner Tom McGee. This is Brian Shackelford thanking you for joining us this afternoon and for your support of the 2024 Texas High School Lacrosse League State Championships. Until we see you tomorrow for Championship Sunday, good afternoon and God bless from Magnolia, Texas.